want to say, firstly, how very pleased I am that we have over 590 members of the college participating. More members than usual are joining us from across the province by webcast. While AMED is always a much anticipated event for the college and its members, today is a particularly important occasion as we mark the recent and tremendous loss of our founding registrar and CEO, Glenda MacDonald. I would like to acknowledge Glenda's family who are with us today, her siblings Debbie MacDonald, Jerome MacDonald, and Gerard MacDonald. Thank you for joining us at this very sad time. We are honored by your presence and hope that the time we spend remembering Glenda today, her many contributions and her lasting legacy will bring some comfort to you. I would also like to introduce Linda Jackson and Laurie Schechter-Wolfson, dear friends and colleagues of Glenda's who are going to share a few words about Glenda after mine. I would also like to take this opportunity to welcome our colleagues from the Ontario Association of Social Workers, Joan Mackenzie Davies and Gillian McCloskey, Executive Director and Associate Executive Director, respectively. Normally, in this formal part of the meeting, my job is to report on behalf of the Council the highlights of activities undertaking in 2014. This year, I would no doubt have spent some time acknowledging that it is the 15th anniversary of the college. However, Glenda's passing overshadows anything else that I could speak about. I'm going to use this time instead to focus on Glenda's many and far-reaching contributions. Despite her untimely passing, she has had an incredible and lasting impact within the professions of social work and social service work, and in regulation generally. She has brought us so far. These many accomplishments will be her lasting legacy. First, let me say that we could not have achieved what we have throughout these 15 years without Glenda's exceptional commitment and vision, or without the contributions of all the council and committee members throughout these years. All of these hardworking people have worked alongside Glenda as they perform a critical function in ensuring that the college meets its statutory obligations and the objects of the college. I would like to publicly acknowledge these individuals now. I would ask the council members and committee members who are with us today to stand as I introduce you, please. Public members: Susan MacLeod, Norman MacLeod, Lily Oddy, Sylvia Pusey, Sophia Ruddock, David Hodgson, and Deirdre Smith. Please stand. Thank you. Registered social service workers: Greg Clark, Gary Cockman, Judy Gardner, Shelley Hale, Tam O'Hurley, Darren Madaby, Tamo and Irene Comfort are not able to be here today. Would you please stand? Thank you. Registered social workers: Linda Danson, Rosemary Fraser, John Preddy, Bob Thompson, and Thomas Horn and Angela Jensen, both of whom are unable to be with us today. Please stand. Thank you. I would also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the non-council members who serve on the statutory and non-statutory committees. Social work members Rita Wiltsey, Nancy Friedman, Riva Katz-Alster, Patricia Williams, and Henk van Duren, and social service work members Kim Lewis and Abe Ibrahim. If any of you are in the room, please stand. Thank you. In 2014, the college experienced many challenges and changes, but as you can imagine, the most difficult without question was Glenda's extended absence. Glenda left on medical leave in November 2014 when her health struggles made it impossible for her to continue at work. Because of her exceptional commitment and dedication, this was a terribly difficult decision for Glenda to make. We had hoped to welcome her back to work, but sadly, this was not to be. Council, staff members, and others are now coping with the terrible loss of someone who the executive director of the Association of Social Work Boards in the US referred to as a shining star, or as a regulator from another province said in her condolence message, "We're mourning the loss of an exceptional leader." Glenda was the registrar and CEO of the college since it began operations in 2000. She was intensely passionate about regulation and about the college's mandate. For those of you who are newer to the college, as members, staff, or council, it may be difficult to imagine exactly what those early days were like. While the college was establishing itself, Glenda, the college's transitional council under the leadership of Christine Forsyth, and some of our key service providers took a leap of faith by coming on board. They worked tirelessly, committing countless hours, sometimes late into the evenings, before formal systems and processes were in place. Establishing those systems and processes had to be a priority, and this was at times a daunting task. It is worth noting that all this took place before the benefits of technology. There have certainly been many changes under Glenda's leadership. Some processes have evolved gradually, while others have changed quite dramatically in response to changes in legislation. It is fair to say that it is because of the strong foundation created by that early work that the college now operates as smoothly and efficiently as it does. Exceptional leaders have the ability to build strong systems and navigate what can at times be complex relationships. A former council member describing Glenda's work through the years said, "I found Glenda to be stern when she had to be, fair always, and delightful in her dealings outside of college business. She will remain someone that I hold an immense amount of respect for in all that she did to further the profession and build the OCSWSSW to what it is today. That will be her legacy." Until recently, we have tended to refer to the college as young, but we're not quite as young anymore. Under Glenda's skilled and astute leadership, the college has raised its profile as a regulator of the two professions. The public awareness is critical in order for the college to fulfill its mandate of public protection. We have also been quite successful in building credibility within the professional communities and with other stakeholders in Ontario. Glenda saw the value in this work and never lost sight of the fact that this is an important and ongoing task. It is a tribute to Glenda's hard work and determination that she was able to build strong relationships outside the college walls while ensuring that inside those walls, the college's internal operations were running smoothly. In those early days, this meant hiring and providing direction to staff, building an office almost from the ground up, and setting up effective systems in registration, membership, complaints and discipline, communications and professional practice. None of this was easy. Glenda set the scene for what would be continuous improvement across all of these regulatory processes throughout the college's 15 years of operation. The college now has a staff of 29, many of whom will have been with the college for all those years, or for very many years. Staff working with Glenda were always reassured by her decisive and compassionate leadership style, one that contributed to a sense of trust, certainty, pride in the work, and commitment to the mandate. We will build on this strong foundation in Glenda's memory. While Glenda demonstrated her strong and effective leadership skills here at home, her wisdom and expertise have also been integral to positioning the college as a leader in the regulatory community in Canada, the United States, and internationally. Glenda was always willing to share knowledge and experience with other regulators in Canada and elsewhere. These were reciprocal relationships, as Glenda was always open to learning from others. One example of this was Glenda's encouragement of the college's involvement with the Association of Social Work Boards. Not only did she support this, but she also served on the ASWB Board of Directors until her leave. Glenda recognized that these various activities were important ways that the college could ensure that it remained current and aware of regulatory issues and best practices outside of our jurisdiction. She also realized that these relationships would only enhance and improve our work. Glenda was committed to professional development and lifelong learning in regulation and in practice. How happy she would have been to know about this new initiative by the province. And she supported others who sought these important opportunities. She was a champion of collaboration and of the sharing of information between regulators in Canada, the United States, Europe, and beyond. As a result of this, Glenda was an admired and valued colleague to many within and outside Ontario. Regulators from all over the world appreciated her collegiality, her commitment to lifelong learning, her commitment to excellence, and her laugh and ready smile. In the words of another Canadian social regulator, she was a mentor, a colleague, and a friend, and I will miss her. We are profoundly saddened to lose Glenda so abruptly and so prematurely. We appreciate all that she has given us and deeply regret that she's not here to enjoy the fruits of her hard work. She was legitimately proud of the college and its many accomplishments over the years. Although it is very difficult for all of us to face this loss today, it is fitting that we have the opportunity to pay tribute to her many accomplishments here at the AMED. Every year, Glenda looked forward to the arrival in June of the annual meeting and Education Day. Later in the year, she was always keen to travel to speak at the Fall Regional Educational Forums, a newer addition to the college's offerings. We know that Glenda would be glad to know that Council is operating efficiently and that the day-to-day operations of the college continue to be managed by Lise Bettridge as acting registrar. But we will never be the same, and this is a sad and difficult time. We're all mourning the loss of a bright and dedicated leader who gave so much of herself and dedicated so much of her career to the important business of regulation. We're all deeply and profoundly affected by Glenda's passing, and we extend our deepest sympathy to the family. I hope that my reflections today adequately reflect Glenda's significant contributions and lasting legacy. I will close with the words of her colleagues who said, "It was a privilege to know her and work with her. She was very competent, hardworking, sincere, and committed to social work and social service work regulation. I will cherish the memories of the many enjoyable professional and personal experiences that we shared. She was a wonderful person. I will miss her very much, as will her many friends and colleagues in the regulatory sector." I wish to take this opportunity to thank Council, committee members, the acting registrar, and staff for their ongoing support and commitment during these challenging times. But most importantly, thank you, Glenda, for all you've done and all you've left us.